Hello and welcome back to Full Count, where I've been ranking the teams from 30 to 1. And if you clicked on this video, you know that I have the Detroit Tigers at number 7 in my rankings. Yes, I am higher on them than most. I just think the additions they made, I think the division's weak, and I don't know. I think they have a very low over under. I think Vegas is not paying attention to that. So if I'm ranking these teams by who I think is going to get the most wins by the time it's all said and done, I think seven's the perfect spot for them. So really like Detroit this year. We'll get into it. I'm kind of going to do the batting order, talk about that, talk about all the hitters, talk about the starting rotation and all of the pitching, and then we will do the over-under. And I will pick my side. So stay tuned to the end to see who I pick, if I go over or if I go under on this Tigers team. But let's kick it off with the leadoff hitter, right fielder, Kerry Carpenter. I love Kerry Carpenter. This guy can slug. He has that Aaron Judge teacher man swing, which I'm personally a big believer in. Works for Judge, works for Kerry Carpenter, works for Ian Happ. Those are the only ones I'm aware of. Manny Ramirez is a big believer in it. So, yeah, love that. Last season, he hit 252 with a 291 on base, which is awful, and a 497 slug for an OPS of 788, which is a big step down from the 932 OPS the year prior. He didn't do what I expected him to do last year, but he did hit 26 homers and 18 doubles. He didn't take any walks last year, which is a big issue. So, going along with that, it's because his eye was bad. He chased too many pitches out of the zone. I'll still take the production that he had, but I don't know. I still think there's a bigger year coming from Kerry Carpenter. I think he's due for a 40-homer season one of these years. Hopefully it's this year, because then I'll look good. And then in the 2-hole, you got Gleyber Torres, who will be playing second base for the Tigers. This guy's just an awesome contact guy. He also has an elite eye at the dish. Last season, he ranked in the 100th percentile in chase percentage. He takes his walks as much as anyone in the sport as well. Last season, he was 95th percentile in walk percentage, so those are both awesome. He doesn't have a crazy bat speed or anything, but he can hit for a decent amount of pop still. Last season, he hit 256 with a 358 on base and a 387 slug for an OPS of 745. He hit 16 homers and 22 doubles. He's really not a great defender at second. Speed also is not a big part of his game. He can hit, though, and that's always a nice thing to have at second base. So I like Gleyber Torres in the 2 spot in this order. In the 3-hole, DH, Colt Keith. Colt is a solid ball player. I don't think I would have him in the 3-hole, but that's how this projected lineup has it, so I'm rocking with it. Last season, Colt had 256 with a 333 on base and a 413 slug for an OPS of 746. Pretty good numbers there on the slash line. He hit 13 homers and 22 doubles. This projected lineup, I'm assuming, is against righties, so makes sense that he's here because he definitely won't be here when a lefty is on the bump. Last year, he had a 785 OPS against righties, but just a 403 OPS against lefties. That being said, it was a small sample against lefties, so maybe he isn't that bad against them, but you still get the point. It's not pretty. An interesting thing is that his base running value was 90th percentile last year, which I don't watch enough Detroit baseball to explain that one, but that's always a plus that he's 90th percentile, but can't hurt there. And yeah, that's all I got for him. Moving on to the cleanup spot, left fielder, Riley Green. This guy is beyond underrated, especially for his age. He's just such a good baseball player. He's only 25 years old. I feel like he's way older than that. Like, it just feels that way because he's been in the league for a while. I mean, he's going to sneak up on some people with the numbers that he's going to be able to have at 30 or so years old. But anyways, last season, Riley was awesome again. He hit 258 with a 313 on base and a 493 slug for an OPS of 806. He hit 36 homers and 31 doubles. He was an all-star, a silver slugger, and he received MVP votes. His barrel percentage ranked in the 95th percentile last season. He has a great bat speed as well. He definitely chases. He definitely strikes out. He led the American League in strikeouts, so that's obviously not something that I like, but you can't deny the production that he had. He's pretty awesome. For the 5 hole, you got first baseman Spencer Torkelson. Last season was another really productive season for 26-year-old Spencer Torkelson. He had 31 homers and 27 doubles. He had 240 with a 333 on base and a 456 slug for an OPS of 789. That's some really solid production from your 5 hole. He barrels the ball. He doesn't chase. He takes his walks. It's the exact type of profile that fits a first baseman, and he's really just the perfect power bat. He does strike out. He does whiff, but I think a lot of teams would want Spencer Torkelson as their first baseman. He's a damn good ball player. Simple as that. He's not a good defender at first, though. I have to mention that. But, I mean, you don't really worry about a defense with a guy like this. So, totally fine with him here in the 5 hole. In the 6 hole, third baseman Kevin McGonigal. This guy rakes. He's a number 1 prospect in the Tigers organization. He's a number 2 prospect in all of baseball. He's unreal. He's just 21 years old. Kevin McGonigal is just a guy with an incredible hit tool. That's what he does. He rakes. He has a really good amount of power as well for a 5'9" guy. They say that, I read some reports that say he might be the best hitting prospect in all of the 2020s. Last season in 88 games, he hit 305 with a 408 on base and a 583 slug for Mr. 5'9" for an OPS of 991. He had 19 homers and 31 doubles in those 88 games. Obviously, that's pretty awesome and very impressive for a 21-year-old. He's going to be a very good ball player in this league, and I'm very excited to see what he can accomplish this year, moving up a couple levels there. The majors is obviously a big difference. Moving on to the 7 hole. Dylan Dingler will be catching for him, just as he did last year. This guy's a really good defender behind the plate, and I mean really good. He ranked in 95th percentile in blocks, 91st in framing, and 85th percentile in throwing runners out. So he does just about everything well behind the dish. As for the plate, he's really not bad either. He actually had 2 homers in spring training today. I was checking the box score. He had 13 homers and 21 doubles last year. Pretty solid production for a catcher, and I really like the slash line. The expected numbers like him even better than the actual ones also, so I definitely don't think it was a fluke season, and I think a better one could even be coming. I think Dylan Dingler is just a really good ball player, and he's definitely awesome to have in your 7 hole. So, deep lineup so far. There's not a player that I haven't liked. 8 hole, center fielder Parker Meadows. Here is where I switch up. Definitely not a big Parker Meadows fan. If it was up to me, I'd throw McGonigal at short. I'd probably throw McKinstry at third from the bench and throw Javi back in center field. But that being said, we do have to talk about Parker Meadows. Last season, he hit 215 with a 291 on base, which is obviously ugly. 330 slug, ugly, for an OPS of 621, ugly. He hit 4 homers and 6 doubles in just 58 games last season. So it was a small sample size. But he's really just here because he's a good defender in center field. The man just goes and gets it out there. He's a valuable fielder, and I can respect that, but he's just a bit of a hole in this lineup, which is fine. He's not here to hit. I just personally would change that all around because I think hitting's a lot more valuable than defense in 162 games. Now, if it's playoffs, I understand it. In the 9-hole shortstop, Javier Baez. Javi graded out really well in center field as well, so I don't quite understand the Parker Meadows thing, but leaving Parker Meadows, back to Javi. The first half last year was pretty awesome for Javi. Everyone was saying he was back, but the numbers would say that he probably isn't back. He was an all-star, which was awesome for him, but the numbers at the end of the season just did not turn out good at all. He had 257, which isn't bad, but a 282 on base and a 434 slug, which isn't bad, for an OPS of 680. He hit 12 homers and 17 doubles. His bat speed is still up there, but Quite literally everything else was below league average last season. It sucks to say, but Javi Baez is indeed not back yet. Not leaving it out. He could happen. But anyways, that's the 1 through 9. In terms of the bench, you got backup catcher Jake Rogers, who I love. He kind of is just a fun guy. Zach McKinstry, who I said should start. Jahmai Jones won't really be here when Trey Sweeney comes back, but he is injured. And then Matt Vierling's pretty good as well. So I actually like their bench a lot. I think it's pretty deep. I think those guys will be playing a lot, platooning probably with Colt Keith. I don't know who will. Maybe Matt Vierling. I don't know. We'll see on that. But, really like the lineup, really like the order, especially in terms of the AL Central. It is the best lineup in the AL Central. So, yeah. Moving on to the starting pitching. This is really fun. They obviously added Framber Valdez, but we will just go in order. In the 1 spot, the ace, Tarik Skubal. It was another awesome season for Tarik Skubal. He went back-to-back, winning the Cy Young again last season. He threw 195 innings with a 2.21 ERA, which led the entire American League. He led all of MLB with a 0.891 WHIP, and also led the MLB in strikeouts per 9. He was amazing last season. He was 90th percentile or better in every category that I'm about to name. You ready? Pitching run value, where he was 100th percentile. Off-speed run value, where he was also 100th percentile. Fastball run value, expected ERA, fastball velo, average exit velo against, chase percentage, whiff percentage, strikeout percentage, walk percentage, and hard hit percentage. So he's just the most elite pitcher in the game, other than Paul Skeens, but there's an argument that Skubal is better. So obviously, Tarik is the definition of an ace, and I love him here for the Tigers, but that one was obvious. We knew that. Let's get to the rest. In the 2-hole, Framber Valdez. Framber was such a great addition to this staff. Him and Skubal are probably, might be the most dominant 1-2 in the game. Framber threw 2 complete games last year, which is pretty awesome in a league that doesn't do that a lot. But no, he's a stud. He received Cy Young votes 4 times in his career. He's received MVP votes twice as well. He's a dog. He gets a ton of ground balls, which I love. His heater moves a ton, has a ton of run. Last season, he threw 192 innings with an ERA of 3.66. It definitely wasn't great for him. He's much better than that, and I fully expect him to be better than that this season. That being said, 3.66 is not the end of the world on the ERA front, and 192 innings is great production. But it was a great pickup for the Tigers, and I'm excited to see what this duo can do. Big fall off here on the 3 into Jack Flaherty. Definitely wasn't a great year for Jack last year. He struck out a lot of guys, but he didn't produce for the back of the baseball card. He threw 161 innings with a 4.64 ERA. He has put together a good career, though, and he was good in 2024 for Detroit, for as much as that counts. I do think he's still a good pitcher, but last year didn't prove that correct at all. People barreled him up last year, and he didn't get many grounders, which I obviously don't like. You never want the ball in the air, in my opinion. You can find success with it, like Shota's done before. Just an example of a guy who gives up a million fly balls. But if it's on the ground, then it quite literally can't leave the ballpark. So I love the ball on the ground. He has received Cy Young votes before. Yes, it was a long time ago, but the point I'm trying to make is that there is a very good pitcher in there. We haven't seen it in a long time, but there's always a chance that it comes back for Jack Flaherty. Now in the 4-hole, Justin Verlander comes back to Detroit. We all know who Justin Verlander is, but I'm going to say it anyways. He's an MVP winner, a 9-time All-Star, a 2-time ERA title winner, a Triple Crown winner, a 3-time Cy Young winner. He's received MVP votes on 8 separate occasions. He's Justin Verlander. Now, all that being said, he hasn't quite done it in a while. Last season, he was actually pretty good, though, especially for a 42-year-old. He will be entering his 21st year in the bigs at the age of 43. Still think he's going to be really solid. I mean, last season he threw 152 innings with a 3.85 ERA. Like, that's honestly really solid, especially for the 4 spot in your rotation. he limited the hard hits, and he still has some nasty off-speed stuff. His changeup was a very successful pitch for him last year. I think he threw it like the fourth most times. I don't quite remember. But, yeah, I kind of fully expect Verlander to be pretty solid for the Tigers in what might be his last season. But we will see. And then in the 5 spot, you got Casey Mize. This guy is honestly really solid for the 5th man in your rotation. Last season, he threw 149 innings with a 3.87 ERA. He doesn't walk many guys at all, which I obviously love. Don't want to give up free bases. It was a tale of two halves for him last season. He was pretty awesome in the first half, hence why he was an all-star, but in the second half, he had an ERA of 4.92. If you have any concern for this season, that's definitely what you look at, that second half. I don't think you can ignore the production in the first half, though, so I think there's really good value in having Casey Mize as the 5th option here. Kind of excited for this rotation. I think it's pretty awesome. In terms of injuries, Jackson Jobe is an absolute stud, and it's going to take a while till he's back. It's looking like September. If that is the case, though, that'd be huge for the postseason if he comes back. I think he's a big-time difference maker given the stuff that he has. Then Troy Melton he has a very long recovery ahead of him as well. Then Reese Olson is a guy with good stuff, but he'll be out for the whole season, which is obviously really unfortunate. And then Bailey Horn is injured as well. Don't need to talk much about him. In terms of the bullpen, they added Kenley Jansen, which is really fun, and he's still just doing it. Will Vest is good. Kyle Finnegan I like out there, and Drew Anderson are kind of the 4 names that I really like in that Tigers bullpen. As for this over-under of 85.5 wins, I think you guys know where I'm going, given that I have them ranked as the 7th best team in baseball. The over-under is 85.5. If I have them ranked as the 7th best team in baseball, I'm assuming they win 90. So kind of a very easy over for me on, well, I guess my rankings don't fully mean that by wins. But anyways, yes, easy over for me on 85.5. I really do like this Tigers team. I definitely like them given the division as well. I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs. Really like the addition of Framber Valdez, obviously. And really excited to see what Kevin McGonigal can pull off. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Tigers. Really excited to see what's going to happen this year. Thank you for watching. Go Tigers. Peace.